Hello everyone, and welcome to another review by me, Ben Hall. That's my name, and I'm here with a review of Lifeless Planet for BritXbox.co.uk. This came as a bit of a surprise for me, this little game. I remember a little bit of buzz about it from about a year ago when it came out on PC, and I didn't pay a great deal of attention to it, just that, well, that looked interesting, but it went away a little bit quietly. But I remember them mentioning that it was all developed by one guy, which I thought was really impressive. Just from the visual standpoint and what was being attempted to achieve. So I was really excited to see this come out on Xbox and to play it for myself. And I've not really been able to put it down. I've played it over the course of about 3 days with about 6 or 7 hours of game type, and there's an achievement for actually doing it, I think, around 4 hours, and an achievement for playing it for more than 10, which I might well do because I want to try and get all the collectibles. It's difficult to talk about a game like this because it's so incredibly story focused. I actually made a point of capturing this video from a part of the game. It's fairly late on in an interesting environment, but there's nothing story related in the video at all, just me doing a lot of platforming around a map. And the platforming in this game is, the majority of the gameplay is traversal and platforming. You get, as you can see, this jetpack, which you can sometimes has one burst, and sometimes it gets powered up and you can have multiple bursts of traversal. But most of the puzzles are platforming based. They're not all platforming based, but there's usually an element of traversal to them. There's a bit of an element of trial and error. I think you're about to see me die as well, and you know, you die not like as much as you would in a roguelike, but you die enough to make you understand that there is punishment for mistakes. But honestly, I could talk about the gameplay in this and focus on that, and while it's perfectly serviceable and at times quite enjoyable, it's not the main thrust of the game. The main thrust is without a doubt the story. The story, the way it's told, the environment, the sparse, desolate, open sort of world that is presented to you, and the way they convey emotions in this game, and the way it makes you feel, or loneliness, solitude, desperation, fear, and then on the other side things like hope, excitement, exhilaration. It's very impressive that this quite artsy small game, at least in its team, is so accomplished in its narrative abilities. I was really blown away by how good this game played and how much fun I had playing it. I was really surprised how enjoyable it was. I know the inspirations for this game were Cold War era 50s and 60s science fiction. It's totally in my wheelhouse. I've read a lot of the novels. I love classic science fiction. Some of my favourite authors are from that time period of science fiction, that time of fear and paranoia, but also a great sense of hope and exploration and desire for discovery. And all of that comes across in this game. You play this astronaut, you are incredibly alone, things happen, revelations occur, you get swept up in this crazy science fiction story, and I've read a lot of science fiction, I've seen a lot of science fiction, but it feels unique. I don't feel like I've come across anything quite like this before, and for the fact that this would have made a great short story or a novel or something like that, but the fact that it's been so well created into a gameplay experience is very impressive. You can see me doing another bit of gameplay here, pushing things and moving around. That's basically the puzzle in this game. Nothing wrong with that, and often they're the majority of puzzles in video games. You know, you're restricted to how you can control and manipulate your environments in video games. But that's not what it's about. It's about the experience, it's about the feeling of this game. And as I mentioned in my review, this is a great example of why indie games should continue to be experimental and should appear on consoles and get to a wider audience. Lifeless Planet is actually exclusive to the Xbox One, at least for now. I believe at time of review of this, and the time you're reading this or seeing this, it's actually on offer, but it's not for much longer. It's 20% off. I recommend it highly. I was really surprised, and I want to see more games like this, and now watch me pull off this crazy jump that saves myself and come to the end of the review. Please head over to BritXbox, check out the full review, and yeah, pick this game up. Be surprised.